that. Get rid of
This
that.
guy looks misunderstood.
There we go.
Does he?
You mean Strahd?
Yeah, he might just be
Yeah.
Strahd himself.
misunderstood. I think he just wants a bestie.
I think I could fix him.
He's the type that can. That's what I was gonna say.
I
Can
can fix him.
All right, so here
I
is
know I can.
some initial art for you guys to look at. Show the players. Alright, so as you can see, under raging storm clouds, there's a lone figure standing silhouetted against the ancient walls of what you're looking at is Castle Ravenloft. This story all falls around the vampire Count Strahd von Zarovich, who is currently staring down a sheer cliff at the village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves around him, billowing his cape in the darkness. So the way there's many ways that this campaign can start, and I thought it'd be nice to just kind of go past the riff raft. And what we're gonna do is, for one reason or another, you all are traveling from the east side of the Sword Coast to the west, and you're with a caravan of other travelers. You guys may know each other, you may not. This group of travelers does take in and allow others to join in on the travels because there is always safety in numbers in the dangerous world of Faerun after all.
Hmm.
And so we're going to be picking up where you guys are traveling, and along the way, you guys will, learn about each other a little bit, and you'll learn of this group who call themselves, as a whole, a Verasi. Uh, that's what they call themselves, as wanderers and travelers. And we're gonna start where the day is winding down, and the camp has the caravans have all started making camps, and you guys are in a group that is settling down over here next to a few trees, and there's some horses grazing down on the side there. I have all of your tokens here. You're sitting on benches. There's some other people sitting on benches here. Some people trying to get some apples and oranges from the different trees around here. You got your tents and everything here, campfire. And there is an old man that's sitting there, um, kind of leaning on a quarterstaff. But right now, you guys are settling in, so we're really going to start with you guys going ahead and introducing yourselves here at a settling night at a campfire.
Gotcha.
So, let's start with someone who's in another campaign of mine. So we'll start with
Oh,
uh,
no.
it, she already knows. I believe you go by Tilda. No,
Ryan.
you go by Daphne in this one. So
Daphne. Yeah.
Daphne, you may introduce yourself first.
Thanks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am Daphne. I am an Eldarin,
Aladrin.
and Eladrin. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I am probably fiery and like red-eyed, and I'm with my best friend. I think that I'm probably standing very stoically, maybe smiling a little bit, not letting too much out to the group. And there's not much to know about her yet, but her name is Daphne Cadbury, not because I want a chocolate. And I'm just, and yeah, it's my great introduction as someone who should know what to do.
You're all good. All right. Now let's do Callister. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Are you there?
Oh wait, that's me. Sorry.
I'm gonna be calling you by your
Um.
character names moving forward, especially during sessions. So.
Okay, cool. I am Callister Brim. I'm a half elf, um, half human. light blue eyes actually. Thought that'd be an interesting thing. And I'm a loner, not by choice, but by circumstances. And I do not like people too often, partially because I don't know how to interact with them half the time. Yeah. Wow, that's loud.
What's
Okay, there
the
we go.
music?
And I think that'll do it for me for now.
Alright. Like I said, the music's loud. There's the audio option in your settings that you can lower it at. I guess we'll jump up to Silas.
All right. Well, I'd say at the moment, Silas is like he's kind of got like some brown. I mean, the I don't know how you would say it, but he's just kind of sitting on probably like a log or a chair if that's out, and just kind of I'm not contemplating, but I guess just kind of looking at a ring that he's got on. Um, and I mean, he's just kind of been wandering, looking for something or someone for a little while now for one reason or another, and just is now here with everyone at this point, I guess. Um, he's just he's usually talkative, but right now he's just kind of lost in thought for now. And yeah, that's all I got for now.
Alright, not a problem. Alright, let's go back, or let's go up to Tilda.
Okay, yeah, Tilda is probably sitting on a log or something right near Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
She is a hill dwarf, medium to smaller side of dwarves. She's got sort of light brown hair that's really messy. It's like in a bunch of different braids, but it's pretty unkempt. And she has out just some like leather working tools and is kind of just, she'll look up every once in a while, but she's very clearly in her own head. And she might whisper from time to Daphne, but she seems a little uncertain of everyone around her.
Alright.
Just judging everyone together.
Based on what y'all are
Lots of
describing, I
judgment.
moved you guys around a little bit. But,
Mhm.
yeah, because I believe you two are the friends, right?
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
alright, and then we have Bulbous.
Uh, Bulbous is just happy to be here. Bulbous is little 3'8" goblin. He's just he's got big eyes. That's where he gets his name from. People used to say he had bulbous eyes, and because I couldn't remember my name, I just went by Bulbous because everybody seemed to say that was a good thing to be. And I'm probably instead of on the bench, I am warming my feet dangerously close to the fire.
Okay.
Um, just kind of swaying my head back and forth, just in my own little world. Happy to be here. Anybody that walks by is like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Are you having a good day?" Just like full golden retriever energy, just as sweet and kind as what he can be and look.
Alright.
Mhm.
Well, alright, so now that all five of you have been
Yes.
introduced, this guy over here is just one of the Saris, and then you got the old man. I moved away the other characters so that there wouldn't be any confusion. But yeah, you guys are all sitting around
Wonder
a
Woman.
campfire that was made by the Visaris. There's some that moved on to pick fruits, some went over to tend to the horses, um, and some were just resting inside of the tents. This is a very large caravan, but the old man, he kind of perks up as everyone kind of settles, and he almost seemingly out of nowhere, he just, we take in a lot of folk, much like you, but you all seem quite interesting. Would you care to allow me to tell a story?
Oh, Bulbous likes a good story.
Oh yes, but of course, I mean, all good stories. They- they're told on the campfire, are they not?
I do enjoy telling stories around the fire, so yes, that would be a wonderful start. Hopefully they'll be back with some food soon, but for now, and he pulls out a little like a water skin. The water skin itself has been slightly stained red as he continues to carry just wine inside of it. He takes a small swig from the wine filled water skin, and he kind of spits it out at the orange fire, making it erupt. Um, the fire will lick Bulbus's toes as it erupts from this flame. But almost right after the eruption, the orange color of the flame will start to turn into a green color, and it'll begin to dance and sway, making a dark shape kind of appear right above the bonfire's core. Oh, this story is one of us and our people. I understand you folks are kind of hitching along for the ride, but we come from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten. It was a land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander on these lost roads. The dark shape and the fire begins to take form of a man being knocked from his horse, a spear piercing his side. One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed, so we were able to nurse his terrible injury and quench his thirst with wine. He managed to survive thanks to our intervention, and when we asked him who he was, he just wouldn't say. All he wanted to do was return home, but we were deep in the land of his enemies. We took him to one of our own and followed him back towards his homeland, and his enemies continued to hunt him down. They said when they arrived that he was a prince, yet we didn't give him up, even when the assassins fell upon us like wolves. The deep, the deep image in the bonfire. Uh, you'll see a sword gets drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy figures and shapes. The sun has almost completely set, making the image completely easier to see from any sides. This man of royal blood, he fought to protect us as we protected him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. And he said he owed his life to us, and that we can stay as long as we wish and leave when we choose, and know that we will always be safe in his presence in his area. The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe, the shadowy figures dispersing just before a cloud of smoke and embers makes the entire image completely disperse. The old man's face becomes a very somber mask, unlike the cheery look he had at the start of the story. A curse has befallen on our noble prince, and turning him into a tyrant. We alone have the power to leave his domain, but we've traveled far and wide to find some interesting folks that might be able to aid our noble back to how he was, or at least something to help us lift this curse. We wish to put his troubled soul to rest. Our leader is back in the land. Her name, Madam Eve, knows much more than I, as I can only tell you of our past. But given your circumstances and your abilities, I would much like to ask you, would you be willing to return to this land that I speak of and speak to Madam Eve to see if you could aid us any further?
Well, um, truth be told, I was looking to understand something about some of this magic I recently came across. So if this benefactor of yours, so to speak, is able to help with that, I don't see why I can't scratch your back and you scratch mine, as they say.
Well, I can't say how much she knows of magical items, but she is quite knowledgeable of magic in its pure essence, so perhaps she would be able to help you. Of
Well,
course,
I
you
think
all
he's
have.
trying to ask what's in it for us.
Are you? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're asking? I thought I answered the
That's what
statement.
I'm asking.
Hey, you're
No, I'm
welcome.
asking
Okay.
him.
What's in it for you? Well, there's always the pleasure of knowing you've done a good deed to a noble, and perhaps the noble himself would have some sort of reward for you. But we're mere travelers, and aid is only a request. You are not forced to do anything, of course. But if you have
I,
no
I'll just
goals ahead of you, and perhaps this will be some way to find a way to move forward.
I don't know,
Hmm.
Daphne. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right,
I
where
think
Daphne goes, I
Thank
go.
you for
I think there's also
well,
the added bonus
that.
of whenever you aid somebody of these type of status, it you get your name in songs and your name becomes well known, and it allows you to possibly get things for a bit cheaper for coin.
Yes, those are all benefits that come with the
Interesting.
noble, and I mean, we have our ability to traverse, so perhaps you'll have your own ability given to you by this noble.
Yeah.
as everybody's kind of like agreeing on where to go, Bulbous here's you say where Daphne goes, you go, and Bulbous like proudly stands up and goes, "Yeah, where Daphne go, Bulbous go."
Do you know this idiot?
I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before.
Bulbous runs up and just sticks a hand up towards you because he's like 3'8" from the ground, and he wants to shake your hand. And he's like, "Hi, Bulbous, new best friend, Bulbous."
I don't think you'll be reaching up for both of them.
Not for me, at least.
Not by
No.
much.
You know what?
Tall as full.
You're
I'm gonna
about
hand you the scraps of my leather and put it in your hand and be like, it takes me a while for me to take anyone on as a new friend, my man. And just sort of slap his shoulder.
so.
I
I'm just
think
gonna
they did the
nod and be
highest
like,
spunk.
nice to meet you both.
So Tilda is actually a little bit shorter than you, Bulbous.
So I looked up a little bit at you.
Well, if nothing else, the little one has
How tall
spunk.
is everybody?
Well, I do appreciate your vigor to hop on this opportunity, but it's gonna be some days of travel before we get there. But we'll be sure to make the detour and take you all where the noble wants, or where the noble needs the aid.
Uh, I am not one who is unused to long travels, used to it on the sea, but on land I can't imagine it any longer.
Of course, well, around this time,
All right.
a couple people will come back with some fruits that you guys that they'll kind of hand out to everybody as they have baskets full of oranges and apples.
Ah, wonderful.
Jeez.
So yeah,
Thank you.
so I want to give you guys the opportunity, since you're all agreeing to go together. Now might be a great time to do some initial interaction roleplay for each other. So I'm going to allow you guys a moment to do that. So this guy's gonna retire. I'll see you all in the morning. An old
Oh,
man must get his rest.
I understand that.
Well, we met this green guy. What are your names? I'm Tilda. This is Daphne.
Ah,
Okay, I
uh,
didn't want to be rude, but now that he's gone, I didn't pay attention to his story. I was distracted. I just saw
He's
the
gonna
little
be
green
very
guy
honest.
stand up and agree to something, and now I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But sure, I'm on board with whatever.
for the short and sweet of it is, they asked us for help to go help their no some noble, and in exchange we get most likely coin and or our names put in good favor, and then with that, uh, all the good things that come with that. Your name and song, you get to be ever famous this person is with their influence, but you didn't miss too much.
Go. Cheers. I'm up to date now. Thank you so much for that.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah, I'm
if
glad you're listening.
yeah. I just heard fame and I'm like, if more people could know about my shoes that I make, that's all I'm after.
He does make amazing shoes.
Thanks, Daphne.
I will say that. No problem.
Well, to answer your question earlier, my name is Silas,
What's up,
but
Silas?
uh,
Callister.
there's a lot and nothing at the same time. Yeah, it's well looking for people, but that's never new in this line of work. At least mine.
What line of work is that?
It's a bit of a complicated story, but being a sort of sailor, I guess you could say, um, we used to take jobs for coin. It not necessarily mercenaries per se, but uh, it was like a group where we would do jobs, and if it paid well enough, we'd help. Uh, Not necessarily at the kindness of our heart, because that only gets you so far. But uh,
Yeah.
it all changed for me not too long ago, and now I'm well landlocked.
What kind of
So
land did you
you're
lock
not
up?
doing this out of the kindness of your heart.
Well, to answer your question, little green one, this land, Sword Coast, this area.
You locked the whole land?
Mm, sure. Yes, I am a very powerful magician. Aga Padaba.
Do you want to? Are you? Do you want to
Never
do
heard
a
of it.
deception? Do you want to do a deception roll to see if you deceive him?
Sure. Alright.
Go ahead and roll an insight against that, and it'll just be whoever has the higher wins.
So what is it? Uh, Roll 1d20, I think.
It'll be a
Oh,
1d20 plus your
I
deception.
was trying to figure out this.
Roll 20 is
Yeah, I'm used to doing it on D&D Beyond.
it's just slash R and then 1d20 plus your thing. Oh, or
Let
minus.
me pull it up. No, it's definitely not a minus.
I got a 15. I got a -1.
So, okay.
Okay. Well, Riot sees right,
oh
or I'm sorry, Daphne sees right through
my
you.
god. Okay.
Uh,
I'm
Silas is
sorry,
sold.
no real dice rolls today.
Silas is sold though. He believes you're a magician.
She doesn't say anything, she just looks at you.
And then I didn't really catch what you were saying about the goodness of hearts, because you had said something right after he was talking about landlocked.
Oh, I asked. So he's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart.
No, not always. I've learned that kindness doesn't always work for me.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I can't say there's anything wrong with that. You said you were in a mercenary?
It's just
Mercenary
sort
group?
of. It's a bit of a. I don't know how you would say it, but some people call them pirates. Um, we didn't exactly. It was more of a. We raided those who deserved it. As in the worst of the worst. But we were more of the guys that you would hire to go fuck up the worst guys.
So
The worst
justice.
guys? There's worse guys than you?
Well, I'm not. Uh, I'm not going to say yes or no. That type of thing. There's. I learned that good and evil. it's not necessarily a 100% thing. There's a lot of gray area in
Yeah,
between.
yeah. Good and evil are a construct built by society that people just kind of fit into boxes. And
Exactly. We
Yeah.
live in a society.
as I say this, I'm putting orange slices on my fangs and pretending to be a vampire with my fangs.
Um,
The
would
strangest
you
little
say
guy I've
you're a
ever met.
yeah?
Bulbous
No,
gets that a lot.
I like him.
what was what is
Like 'em.
your what are
What?
you what are you looking for, Bulbous?
Well, Bulbous is just looking for friends.
Friends. Oh, nice.
Bulbous has been alone for a long time.
Bulbous,
Where
you're a goblin?
Yep.
You have no other goblin friends?
Nope.
Did did they leave you, or did you leave them, or something?
As you say that, so Bulbous's eyes, like they're really big, but as you kind of start to ask about like where he came from and stuff, his eyes kind of go a little glassy. And then he just looks at you again and says, "Hi, I'm Bulbous," and he just kind of lifts up his hand to shake your hand.
So everyone that's like looking in his eyes, um, you get a sense of almost like dread from just looking in his eyes, even though his outward outward attitude is very bubbly so far. When you
Hmm.
when you look and try to like decipher or like understand him further than the outward appearance, there's a darkness behind it.
I'm gonna sort of whisper to Daphne and be like, I know I don't like people generally, but I have a super not great feeling about that little guy.
You know, I really don't like him either.
Can
Bulbous is picking his nose.
Well, glad we're on the
uh,
same page.
People like him.
So he's kind of gross.
can I make an Arcana check? See if that's maybe
For
something magic related.
what his the darkness?
Whatever that darkness and or maybe I don't know. Would that be insight? To see if that like
Yeah,
the darkness
it'd be more.
feeling would be.
It'd be more like insight. Your insight's a -1, right?
Boy. Let me see.
Let's see here.
Can I break for a minute?
It. I think.
Sorry, hold on a second. Who's breaking for a second?
I just wanted to know Border and Parsley your names for your characters. I missed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who's who?
Callister.
Uh,
Border is
yes.
Callister, which is this guy over here.
I don't know.
And then the other one was Parsley. Parsley is
Mhm.
Silas, and Silas is over here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
But
Continue.
my insight is +0,
+0. Okay.
so it's just a straight
If
D20.
you know what, I probably just to make sure. Did you guys read over my how I GM rules, or do you want me to go over that real quick for you?
Is that that's up at the top, right?
Yeah, in the campaign
The
section.
server. Oh,
Yeah. Um, the reason I ask is right now it applies because I roll insights usually so that you don't know what you rolled, and the insight is just how you feel, which is how an insight is
Oh.
supposed to be. It's how you feel on it. Whether you're right or wrong is up to the roll, but if you roll a nat 1, you're going to know that your feeling is wrong. If you roll a nat 20, you're going to know your feeling is right. Whereas if I roll it, you don't know what the roll was, you just get the feeling you get.
I see. Okay.
Um, and you're rolling insight on Bulbous on how you feel about the eye thing.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to figure out like maybe is that eye thing, and then like the bad feeling linked to maybe magic.
It's
Uh,
linked to it's linked to a magic that you don't comprehend, that you can't comprehend.
mm,
But
that makes sense.
it's not like normal.
Mm.
So,
The
um,
Bolvis
go ahead.
Yes.
is what was that?
What was what?
We were all talking, and then you had a when we started asking about your friends or lack thereof, you had something going on with your eyes, and then, well, I don't know if this is just me. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but there was some sort of uneasy feeling that came over, and
Yeah,
then
that's probably why Bulbous doesn't have friends. People say that I'm kind of creepy. And he just looks up at you with these big round eyes.
I never like goblins.
well, I don't scare easy, not anymore. So uh, we'll see where this goes, and until something changes, I might consider you a friend.
A friend?
Sure, why not?
Bulbous fully hugs you around the waist.
Okay,
You
not
sh-
what I.
you should have movement over your token. If you click it, you can use the D-pad to move it, or you can just use your mouse to drag it around.
Okay. Where is he standing at again?
You're right here.
Yes.
Oh, who was talking?
Yes.
It
Yes,
was Callister that was talking.
that's right. Sorry, there were two
Nope, that is
reds on there.
Silas.
Oh,
Yes.
there?
You might want to change
Um,
y'all's
Oh.
name in the server to your character name. It'd be easier for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can just go ahead and do that.
But yeah,
I think. Where is that? I
It's
mean,
in
I was the one that just mentioned being his friend.
Parsley. Oh, Parsley.
Silas.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Silas. You were right the first
Yeah.
time. Okay, there you go. You were right the first time. See, even I got it mixed up. I thought it
Oh,
was Callister that said it.
as he's being hugged by this goblin, I'm gonna ask him, would you consider yourself a good guy?
Me. I.
Silas, not Bulbous.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to try to be. It. I. I often consider myself that, but a lot of things have happened to me in the last year. It's made me question that. Hence the reason why I say there's a lot of gray area in between good and evil.
So your group, you're no longer a part of them, or were they the good guys?
Uh, I'd, I'd rather not go into that, but
Hmm.
uh, the man I followed, I like to consider him to be a good man.
And you? Master?
Oh, me. I mean, I'm not good, but I won't screw you over if that's what you're wondering.
Good to know.
You know, I don't intentionally go out of my way to screw people over, so that's something. What it is. But no, I wouldn't say I'm good like holier than thou.
Mm.
That answer your question?
Yes,
Can I do a check and see what kind of shoes everyone's wearing?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
Was
I'm obviously
per,
wearing the
per,
best shoes by you.
You are wearing the best shoes.
make it
Would that be a
make it
perception?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I have? Perception.
Let's
Plus
see.
2.
This is Tilda. Yeah.
let me see if I can go to the thing.
All right. I'm surprised that rolled, but okay, with the underscore in there. But
Oh yeah, I didn't even know how that happened. Well,
but it rolled it, so that's all good. Um, did it roll it? Is that even the right roll? Just says 17.
I don't know. Well, does
think
it
it
say
should-
what the initial?
Usually when
I
you
should have a
highlight
plus
it,
2, so maybe it's a 19.
yeah, I think it's a 19.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys describe your shoes
Yeah.
because I don't really know. I think everyone's got decent shoes. I don't know about
Hold on.
Bulbous at all.
Bulbous
I
wears
think
no
Bulbous is
shoes.
wearing
I feel like if they
exactly.
were a thing, you'd wear Crocs.
But as far as I know, everyone has standard boots. So
Okay, but they're
but
not like. Does anyone want to say that they have like worn down boots, or does everyone's boots look pretty solid? This is how I'm deciding whether I trust you or not.
I mean, mine are decently worn, but I try to keep them as best up as I can. But like, I don't know. I don't want. It's hard to say how
I, th-
worn, but like it seems like he's walked a lot for what that's worth.
I think the question's more how often does your character change their shoes to new
Or care,
shoes?
care for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
You guys didn't
I'm.
all write this in your backstory. Come on.
yeah, you gotta go over your shoes, guys.
Oh yeah, that's.
uh,
No, let me go and change my whole thing real quick.
um,
Are you sneaky
I
or
would
not?
I would imagine
Got a pair of Air
I would imagine
Jordans.
that Callister and Silas have fairly decent shoes, good, decent upkeep on them. Um, Bulbous, I really don't know because that one really could go
Bul-
either way. So I'm gonna let Bulbous make the decision on how his shoes are.
Bulbous does not wear any shoes, but the
Yeah.
bottoms of his feet are incredibly calloused and cracked. Uh, looks like he's only walked, and it looks like he's walked a lot.
I maintain Daphne.
Tilda
I
and
don't trust the
Daphne,
green.
Honestly,
yeah, you
I
guys
don't
should.
trust the green one.
I don't trust any of them, but the green one is particularly terrible. I do
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
At least they take care of their shoes, the other ones.
That's that's the sign of a good person. Take care of your feet, especially if you're an adventurer. Come on.
It's the one thing I learned from you, so
Yeah. Yeah.
So if
ridiculous.
I've killed numerous people, but my shoes are really, really good, I'm a good person in your eyes.
No, you're not a good person to me. I will say that.
Well, I suppose being untrusting is probably a good thing in this line of work.
Self
But
care is important, okay?
well,
No matter how good or bad you are.
hmm. Suppose we'll find out how good or not we are soon enough.
Does
I
anyone
mean, I have
have
an idea, but it's okay.
Does anyone have any tricks or anything that they would like to show off from their character before we move forward?
Oh.
Let me see here. What do I
I
have
can do a
access?
little backflip in the air.
He's
If
a
you
show
want,
off.
I'll let you do acrobatics to do a backflip. Potential faceplant moment. You land the flip, but you kind of stumble. It wasn't a clean landing.
Hmm.
One.
Oh, man,
I
that
don't.
was fun.
I can't use that because that'll. Well, hold on. Let me see. Let me reread how this thing works. Nah, I won't do that.
Hey, you don't have to do anything, guys. I'm just asking if anyone has a
No, I
trick.
know. I was looking at something, but
All right.
um,
I land a backflip.
No, competition here.
That's plus 5.
I
Plus
guess we're
5 because I
just
don't have
doing
an
backflips.
add-on.
With a 15 total.
Backflip.
15 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a standard backflip, clean landing. Nothing special type of backflip.
She's not
But
going to say anything. She's just going to stare him down. She's not
Fine.
impressed.
I guess I'll do one too. Like, no, 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 no. It's more in the initial jump. Fuck.
All right. I'm gonna
She's
join too. Oh, it's acrobatics, and
yep.
I'm gonna try to
Silas, was that a
go.
backflip attempt? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt.
that's what I was trying.
Okay, so Silas, in
It's
front of
okay.
everyone, you tried to join in and you face planted, probably straight into the log that you were originally sitting on.
Ow! I meant to do
Okay,
that.
he
Sorry,
looks good.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Tilda. You go
No,
ahead.
you're fine. No, no, no. I didn't realize that hadn't.
I
Yeah.
saw the nat one. I was like,
Yeah.
hold on, we gotta face plant. Hold on.
I meant to
Amazing.
do that, I swear.
I believe you. There's no way anyone could feel that bad at all. It's to be on purpose.
Oh man.
All right. I am gonna step up and be like, I don't think I can top Daphne. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna take my what's it called? An all file which is a thing a cobbler has, and I'm going to throw it into the air and try to flip and then catch it. And I'm
Okay.
not even that acrobatic, so this is probably.
This is the
Oh,
best
whoops!
person I know. She's done amazing things, so she can obviously school me. To sing a lot
Definitely.
for your 10.
So you, man, what is an all file? Hold on, let me see what that actually looks like.
It looks like a it's like a pointy nail file, but with a
Pointy nail
nice
file.
wooden handle.
Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting.
Chisel?
No, it's different. Similar but different. So with the eights, you managed to do half the flip. I would say that you probably belly flopped on the ground, and that
Oh.
all file lands just in between your fingers,
Whew.
pointed into the ground.
That was the trick. That
Hey, well,
See, she's amazing. I told you.
Uh,
Right now, you guys can tell that she has pretty blind faith in Tilda. But it's
Bulbous is clapping for everybody and is like, those are good tricks. Bulbous can do this. And then Bulbous looks into all of your faces and you hear his voice in your mind going, "Can you hear me?"
oh Jesus.
no, I don't like that.
Me?
That's interesting.
Can they
Albus, can you hear
respond? I
me?
forgot if they can respond to that.
Um it just says you can telepathically speak to any creature you can see. You don't need to
Yeah.
share a language for it to understand your utterances.
Yeah. So they
But it
can't.
needs to be yeah, so
Can't
they can't
respond.
respond.
Yeah. So they just hear you.
So you can't hear me.
So
So I'm
what?
just like, Albus, can you hear me?
There's no response.
Nothing. I'm like, yes, I hate him. I hate him
Well,
so much.
it's
What?
interesting trick.
Bulbous looks at you and says, "Oh, Bulbous can also do this." And then I start using prestidigitation to like pull fake quarters out of the orifices on my face, like my nose and my ears and my mouth.
You know,
Maybe I like him a little more, but I still don't know what to do.
I'm not that familiar with this much magic, but I suppose you're pretty good at it.
Yeah. Bulbous was in a freak show in the carnival one time. Lots of people came to see me.
Just kind of under his breath, he's like, "Well, that makes a lot of sense now."
Yeah. I think we're bonding.
All right. All right. So yeah, the as you guys wrap that all up, the night has fully fallen, and you guys would go ahead and head off to sleep. And then in the morning, we'll begin the travel over. So let me give you guys a proper breakdown of the way I play, just in case you don't see it. You can follow along if you go to the campaigns section on my server. Some simple stuff is I'm going to use the Goblin token for examples. Movement. I don't do the hindrances when it comes to like environments and stuff, like climbing over rocks and things like that. Instead, I just do a limitation on diagonal movement. So the first diagonal is 5 feet, but in the same turn, the second diagonal is 10 feet from then on. So if you have 30 feet, this would be 5, 15, 25, and you could not do another diagonal.
Gotcha.
That's to bypass any of the hindrance arguments. A short rest is only 1 hour, and a long rest is 8 hours. I call this an adventurer's heal because a commoner will not heal in 8 hours. That's because you're an adventurer. Health potions are
Yeah.
always able to be used to get the full amount, but if you're in combat, you can use a bonus action to use your health potions. You'll just have to actually roll for it if you use it as a bonus action, aka possible spillage while you're drinking it. You guys have to manage your own equipment and money. I'll assist with that. I suggest someone find the role of being the note taker and then utilize the note channel I gave you guys to, if you get a bag of holding, what's in it? If you find stuff at a certain place, what have you looted? What's where? Things like that.
Hmm.
Up until we reach level 5, the game will be basically on a bit of an easy mode. That means that there's no chance of death before level 5. Um, you guys
Is that
have
a challenge?
this gives you guys a chance to learn your characters, learn each other, find your place in the party, find your roles, your strengths, your weaknesses, things like that. I do encourage combo attacks, so if you guys can find a way to utilize your skills together, I highly encourage it. And then once you guys find your strengths and weaknesses, it's on you to utilize that accordingly. Um, I like to do the adventurer rules, which is basically, let's say you guys are going through a door and you wanted to check for traps. Whoever's the one person that checks for traps, that's it. You guys check for traps. If you think it's clear, why would you wait and have the rogue check it? You would keep going. You thought it was clear. So I do use timers. They're mostly used behind the scenes. Occasionally, whenever like events are happening, I'll hold the timer up like this real quietly. I won't say I'm holding it up, but once that timer's up, something either the event ends, the time's up for whatever it is that you're doing. Um, this same thing goes for whenever we're doing like role play engagements. If there's like an argument or any disputes of any kind, I use timers because those can only go on for so long before it becomes a real problem between the players. Um, Starting at level 3, I use my 2-minute timer for turns. That by level 3, you should know your turns in combat, your options in fighting. So we want to make sure that there's a good flow moving forward. And so, you want to plan your turn. You'll have 2 minutes to execute your full turn. So if you have to change it, you should have a plan B or C that you can go to. But the idea is that 2 minutes per player per turn, that way, there's no stalls in combat where everyone waits like 40 minutes for their turn. I don't encourage hostile roleplay and combat between players. It's strongly discouraged. I understand there will be banter, emotionally driven moments, character developments, things like that. Those are fine and they'll basically be supervised. But if those things happen and it gets heated, if I say it's over, it's over. We drop it. It's over. There is no main character. No one's in control. We're all a team. We're all players. We all want to have the same amount of fun. Um, that said, you're a team, so possibly come up with a name, something that the people in Barovia are going to know you by. Um, the games are. I always hold a game as long as there is only one person missing. If two people are going to be missing, the game will be canceled so that players don't fall too far behind. When the game is canceled, there are role play opportunities if you'd like, or we can set up like a one shot so that the game's not completely missed and you can still have a session. And then for the sake of meta-safe engagement, death saving throws are to be whispered or told to me through Discord so that no one else sees what it is that you rolled. And I do the insight roll that I explained with the reasoning I explained. Any questions or anything about all that?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
Cool, cool.
Um, I can take notes for now, but I for my other campaign with Dean, I don't take notes, and it's not because I don't take notes; it's because I actually have found many upside down. So, if anyone's better at taking notes, please be just
Maybe someone should just take it.
yeah, to take it for now. But if anyone has better notes, just correct me or take notes. But I'll take notes for now.
All right. So, in the morning, everyone's gonna get ready to pack up and travel along Faerun. Um, does anyone want to do anything during the travel from Faerun to where we're going?
I'm just gonna meditate.
It specifies it's an uneventful travel, so this is just going to be a fast forward unless you guys want to do something specific.
I'm gonna
I'm just
not even with the intention of giving them to him, but I am going to be working on a pair of boots for Bulbous. Just
Okay.
because of the challenge. Those are the weirdest looking feet I've ever seen.
They are knobbly and green.
Yeah.
I imagine she pulled you over, started doing some measurements, start feeling it out.
Hey, that's okay. Everybody's into different things. Some people like feet, and some
Stop.
people.
Hey, this is for
you
you.
know,
This is for your own good.
That's what they
it's a
always,
wide range, but I
that's what
don't
they
know if it
always
is.
say. That's what
That's what they all say.
They all do, but I've never met with someone with a foot fetish.
they...
Like, what about tries
Unless
then?
I just have.
Uh,
Along the
but
way, the old man will come across you guys, and he'll just say, "Well, this is the last chance. Would you guys still like to move forward, or are some of you backing out?"
uh,
I'm
I am a man
going
of
to
my
whisper.
word. Oh,
It's okay.
I'm going to whisper to Tilda that I think it's best that we stick to this path.
Where you go, I go.
Bulbous
Deal.
goes where they go.
All right.
What are you
All this
doing in
is not
here?
listening to us.
Nothing
Uh,
ventured, nothing gained.
All this is too small.
Alright. Alright, well, I'd be rude of me not to let you know by now. The name is Stanima, and when we get to our location, you could just let her know that I'm the one that invited you all to come. And then you guys will basically turn inward towards like the mountainous area, and it'll be about another hour or so before there we go. Nope, the description is it closed all my roll 20 broke and it closed every node I had open. So I gotta find it
oopsie.
again. Gotta love it. This is not it.
Yeah, my notes aren't going to be great, guys. I'm sorry.
Alright. Um
You said,
After a few hours you guys will see the caravan kind of walking into this very thick fog. And as you pass through it, you feel almost slightly choked from how thick the fog is, but it doesn't actually like hinder your breathing. And it isn't long before the fog clears it well enough that you can see what lies ahead of you. Stanimer will turn around and he'll say, "Oh, now that we're through the fog, welcome to the land of Barovia."
Oh, let me zoom out.
Super zoomed.
She says that out loud.
We're going to be coming in on this side, on the far right over here.
I see.
hmm.
Gods, that fog was thick.
You'll see that the fog hasn't actually dissipated, but it is it's almost like a thick fog wall behind you as you guys continue to move forward. The first thing you can see in this land is a set of black pools of water that stand like dark mirrors in and around a muddy roadway. There's giant trees that loom on both sides of the roads, their branches clawing at the mist above us. Um, and it takes a couple more hours and along this muddy road before you reach a sort of gate. The fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you as you guys continue to proceed forward. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang in the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. As the front of the caravan approaches the gates, it begins to open up with a loud creak on its hinges. As you pass and get closer, you notice two headless statues of armed guardians flanking the gates, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you with only silence as the air begins to get darker and thicker around you, even though it was daylight just seconds ago. As the last
And
caravan passes through the gates, you hear the screeching creaks once more as the gates come to a close. You
Well, that
guys,
was ominous.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
right?
It's not my favorite landscape I've
so
ever seen.
bad.
uh, it,
Creepy as hell.
as you guys continue around the curved road, you can just see the towering trees whose tops are lost in heavy gray mist, block out all but a death gray light. The tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another, almost as if they want to overlap, and the woods have a silence of a forgotten grave, yet exude the feeling of an unvoiced scream. You guys have some time on this road if you would like to ask anybody of the what are they called? Vitari. I think I'm saying it wrong. Vistani. That's what it is. Vistani. Any of them, because and you'll notice that the caravan is smaller. Only like about 3 of the caravan actually came through the mist. The rest continued on the way that they were.
Hmm. I'll actually probably whisper to my ring and just kind of like, does
Do you not want
any
to
of
say it
this
out loud, or do you want to?
well,
You're saying you're whispering to your ring, so if you don't want everyone to hear you, we can make that happen.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Um.
I'll whisper it.
Okay. Um. Let's do. You want to just DM it to me, and
Yeah, yeah,
if there's a response, I'll give you the response.
yeah. Okay.
Does anyone want to ask anyone anything, or y'all just gonna go along with the ride of this dark gray
I'm
mist area?
gonna I'm gonna whisper
Creepiest moment.
to I'm just gonna ask her what
You're asking.
without saying
You're
what
asking
our
Daphne.
friends are, what her future, what she was told to do here,
Mm-hmm.
if she has a goal here.
You're telling that to Tilda, right?
Hilda, yeah, what is
Oh,
like? Why are you here after all this ominous situation? Do you have a sense of mission?
I mean, honestly, at this point, you're really my only reason for doing anything. I mean, not going back to my family. Not sure where else I would fit in. So at this point, I'm just sort of following along at whatever presents itself to me. Maybe I'll make some beautiful shoes along the way. I don't know. Uh, but like I said, where you go, I go. I don't know that I have a grander purpose these days.
Honestly, Tilda, I don't think that I've had much connection with other people. Apparently, I've had one with Bulbous, but
No, I feel
we'll
you. I
see
think,
how this is up for
yeah,
us. If we
we'll see how this
share a
goes.
mission, then
Yeah, it's you and me. There are other people here,
it's
but
you
you and
and
me,
me
we're gonna
and Bulbous,
make this
who is
work in our
always
favor.
listening.
And Bulbous will just be there, weirdly. I can't figure out.
Glaring at Bulbous the whole time so that he can hear.
Bulbous is.
He can hear.
Can Bulbous be riding on the back of one of the horses pulling the carriage?
Like on the back of the horse itself.
Yes. I'm so small.
Go ahead and roll animal handling,
Okay.
because I know carriage
I'm.
horses are usually pretty finicky. So.
You know,
I'm.
Tilda, I met someone who told me that goblins were not to be trusted, and I'm really getting the vibe right now.
I mean,
Oh
the thing
no.
with his eyes, the thing with the feet. Oh,
Ooh,
The feet are weird, right?
that's a 5 in
no.
total.
Yeah.
That's
As you try to climb on the
100%
horse,
not.
as you try to climb on the horse, it begins to show signs of discomfort. The old man that's sitting up front will kind of just grab you by the back of the shirt and pull you back. Don't mess with the horses. If they stop walking, we must.
Oh, Bulbous is sorry.
Silas, your ring will light up for a moment and then it'll fade out,
Hmm.
and we'll just use that measure moving forward.
Yeah.
Um, so the old man will also turn to the party, and as he's making his way down he'll say, "Oh, this you may have felt it as we entered, but you're no longer in the material plane. We are in a whole new world. Barovia sits in its own demi-plane of existence. We're traveling now on the old Svalich Road between the two branches of the Svalich Woods. Soon we'll be approaching the village of Barovia, the main city of the, the plain here, but don't expect too much from this silent town as it's full of more sadness than one can possibly bear.
Uh, you, you say this, but I've seen seen a lot of sadness. So we'll see just how much that is.
Well, then perhaps you can compare it to what you've experienced, but I do hope that you don't come out the winner in that bet, given what I know of their forsaken situation. But
Hmm.
I must urge you, it's only fair to let you know that you will not be able to leave Barovia at this point, not without the Vitalis. It'll require our permission to leave at this point, and that is due to that fog. The choking feeling you felt was only released due to your proximity to our kind, and as we've mentioned, we had favor with the noble that is befelled by the curse, and that is but a mere glimpse of what is going on.
What happens if
Sorry.
we do leave
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
or attempt to? If we do leave or attempt to leave,
Oh, upon an attempt of leave, you'll probably feel your life just taken out from you as you choke on the fog itself.
Is this a
we
known
promise
thing?
that.
Like, why weren't we told this before we came in the fog?
That does seem a
Yeah,
rather important detail.
Yeah.
I
I mean, we
admit,
promised to help you, but we didn't promise not leave.
I did withhold such dire information as I was in fear you would reject such a task if you knew.
I mean,
What was your name?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I don't like this old man.
As
What was?
I do apologize for my tricking of you, or rather lack of informing you. Again, my name is Stanimer, and I'll gladly take all of the blame in the situation. But
You're a
I
liar.
do. I'm not a liar. I provided the information of which brought the means forward.
Um, so with Bulbous feeling this sense of being lied to and betrayed and told something that wasn't true, uh, he kind of gets overcome with this. He gets that same weird glazed over look in his eye. Can I use Awaken Mind to speak in this guy's head and try to intimidate him and say, "Tell us what you're not telling us"?
Sure, you can, but I do want to specify he did not lie. All the information has been true. He just waited till after you crossed the gate to tell you this bit of information.
I
Okay.
think it,
Um,
Hmm.
I'd like to mage hand tie his shoelaces together.
Okay. When you cast Mage Hand, unlike the Mage Hand you're used to, it's a skeletal hand now.
Cool.
Ew.
That's awesome.
That's gross.
So as he sees the mage skeletal hand come out
Like, that's not even a secret.
and he'll just kind of let out a sigh. Oh, you should also know that magic doesn't always work the same here. There are some changes to what can be done. This curse that plagues the land, it's quite vast, quite strong. Strong enough to hold the noble into this place.
I think
Cool. I feel
Daphne is
great about it.
laughing very loud.
I'm sorry, what was that, Daphne?
Daphne's laughing extremely loud at this point, and you guys haven't seen her laugh this whole time. She's been pretty like stoic,
Hmm.
but you can
Ew.
tell that she's in it for the adventure of what's happening and also to challenge any god that's above them.
Bulbous, go ahead and roll your
She's an
intimidation
investigator.
as you speak into his mind, and then let me know what you said to him.
Can't say that that's not. I'd be told.
I don't understand your question.
Oh, well, the thing that what was it? That Stanimir just said. That's what I was referring to.
Um, Well, he was referring to the fact that there is a cosmetic modification inside the curse of this land. So, certain things that have like a visual effect, such as Mage Hand, usually looks like, the purple hand that we all know of. Or if you do like Find Familiar, they have a different property and they have a different look to them. But it's all cosmetic.
I see. Okay.
So,
Bulbous got a 14 on that intimidation, and he just wants to say into this guy's head because, like I said, he's feeling betrayed. Like he feels like he wasn't told everything from the get go, and he doesn't like when people don't tell him things from the get go. So he's trying to make the guy tell him more about this place. Like like what else have you not told us? What have you waited to tell us?
as he as he hears your voice in his head, you could just ask me questions. I'm open to answering any and all of your questions. I've told you all that I know at this time. Curse of the curse of Barovia is upon your magical skills and talents. It'll be mere cosmetic. I've yet to hear of any abilities unable to be done. We're on the old
Hmm.
Svalak Road, and we'll be passing through the village of Barovia on our way to meet Madame Eva. She'll be the one that can tell you much more information forward, as there's information that no standard Vatari would or Vistani would know.
Mhm.
And I do urge you all to not try and leave without a Vistani with you.
Noted.
Right.
Did I miss, did I miss someone's question?
We
I feel like I'm missing someone's
agreed
question.
to this quest, but we didn't know that we were tied to it. Why didn't you at least tell us that?
Again, I withholded the information based on the idea that you would reject the request. And this is something that we've been fighting against for some time now, and well, we haven't had much luck. And you all seemed quite able and had an interesting aura about you. So I implored you all to join me on this quest to save our noble.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I mean, sure, but that's still not cool, man.
I,
I understand the
I have to agree with this guy here, actually.
I understand the anger you must feel from this information not being told. It is rather dire information, and our forthright approach has had many turn away. So you must understand on our side that we must approach the plight in a way that can bring people that can handle the plight.
hmm.
So you believe we're strong enough to handle this?
Well, I believe you had the aura, and so I invited you. It'll probably be Madame Eva that could tell us if you were a good fit or not. If she deems that you all are not a good fit, I myself will take you out of here. As I said, we can always leave as long as you're with a Vistani.
Hmm.
But it is through our good deeds with the noble that gave us the right to pass through his own curse.
Who's curse?
Well, we believe the curse befell him due to a mixture of unfortunate circumstances that has befelled him in the past, and Well, we hope to, as I mentioned, either save him or lay him to rest against his troubles.
Those are pretty opposing plans.
Yeah, I'd rather opposite on both.
If you find the ability to save him, by all means, please do. But we understand that that would be a much bigger ask.
And now, remind me if you did say this, but I don't think you ever said the name of your noble.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't call him by his name, but we simply call him the noble within the Vistanis.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't see what option we have, right? We're here, we can't get out.
At this point, I don't think we have much of a choice until we meet with this Madame Eva.
All I ask is that you meet with her, and if, again, you are not deemed fit to handle the problem, then I will make sure you are escorted out of Barovia myself.
Wait, what? I don't trust that.
Sorry, what was that?
I don't trust that if we're not good enough, they'll just let us leave.
Yeah, I mean, we could just. This is not my character saying this. We could just not be good enough.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
That's
thinking.
entirely possible, yeah. I mean,
Your fate will be decided by the cards, after all.
I think
which cards?
Daphne is going to tell Tilda that we are obviously good enough, and we shouldn't doubt ourselves.
Well, I know that we're good enough, but like, if we're not good enough, we could just leave. It's
We
just whether
could,
we
but
want to
that's
take this
not-
on. You know, I mean, I've got shoes I could. All I care about is if this could get the word out about my craft. Yeah, it just seems like a big risk.
It may be a big risk, Tilda, but I think
yeah.
this is one we should.
I'm here for it if you think if it's gonna be good.
It'll be interesting.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, look at this, and she's gonna mage hand again, just to like,
The
just
skeletal
to look
hand.
at them. It's wild. What's
Like,
happening?
well, it's already interesting. I mean, we have Bulbus here doing whatever it is he's doing right now.
Whatever it is he's doing.
Bulbus is high-fiving the mage hand.
Okay, we have a big journey, but at least he's occupied.
Allow me to tell you about Madame Eva a bit. She's the Vistani seer. She has this ability with the Taroka deck. She does some card readings, and that'll help her understand if you all have a future in helping Barovia come back to the land it once was.
So magic based.
Could I make like a history check to see if I've read about this place before? Like,
Barovia?
yeah, or maybe if I've heard of it.
No, you won't. You won't have heard of
Interesting.
it.
All right.
I will go ahead and let you guys know. Barovia, as I mentioned, is a lost location on the actual Faerun map. It is basically, it looks like that little crater in the middle of that mountainous area in the center of Faerun, the Sword Coast type map. It's that crater-looking thing. To everyone on Faerun, it's just a crater that's surrounded by fog. But Barovia itself is its own demi-plane. It's not the material plane, but it's not like the astral plane or anything. It's its own type of place, and um, it's like not even in like the same time. Like Curse of Strahd technically takes place in like 1489, but Barovia is like 789. So they're like not even in the same time. So
Gotcha.
like, it's like nowhere near. There's gonna be no history books on it or anything.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was wondering just because I traveled a lot, so maybe I had heard of it if that was a thing. But gotcha.
Yep.
Well, let's go meet her then.
Guess so.
Mhm.
Bulbous likes cards. Cards, you can play goldfish with cards.
That you can, among many other games. You ever play poker, small one?
Po- he hears you say poker and he pokes Daphne.
No, 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 not. I don't mean the action. I mean it's a game called poker.
Yeah, I won the
Maybe
game. And he pokes Daphne again. He's like, I won again. I just keep winning.
Eh, sure, but
I
perhaps
would
I show
have.
you. Perhaps I show you the card game sometime.
Yeah, sure. I'm cool with that.
Well,
After some time passes, you guys begin to reach the outskirts of the village of Barovia. I believe this is the right track for this. Um, Tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything as you guys continue on this muddy trackway um, underfoot. And the mud begins to give way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from the pools of blackness within. There seems to be no sounds that. This isn't the right track. I'm just gonna put it back on Barovia. The windows from the blackness within the the windows of each house stare out. There's no sound that cuts the silence except for some mournful sobbing that seems to echo through the streets from a distance. Alright, let me
Somebody sounds sad.
yes.
Here's the village.
Hmm. Perhaps we can go help them sometime, but now is not the time.
Okay, you guys could just make your way straight through it. You remember you're coming in from this side, and
Yep.
and you're gonna be leaving this side. Um,
Interesting. Would I happen to have any like a wait? Let me check my um. I don't know if you would if this would work, but could I say like the water skin I have is full of rum instead of water?
if you want, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
for some type of use or reason or?
No, no, just because I mean like, well, just because like I'd recently gotten off watching a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I was thinking about having rum instead of water in the flask or like water skin.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
um, so yeah, as you guys pass through the streets, um, you see a couple of houses are almost partially dilapidated. You can even see some rats scurrying around a few of the ones with just open doors. Um, while it's dark and mostly silent side of the mournful crying that you can hear, around the time that you reach the middle of the city, you see a sparse light from the building spill out into from behind a drawn heavy curtain. There's a sign over the door creaking on its hinges reading Bildrath's Mercantile. It seems to be the only open establishment in the area, as everywhere else seems to be just a house with either nobody or few occupants, and everywhere else seems to be pretty closed off. Um,
Hmm.
but I believe you guys are just passing by, right? Or did you want to stop?
I mean, if I know one thing, it's trade. But it might not be a bad idea to stop in.
Does anybody else have anything they need to buy or that? But,
I don't actually need anything. I don't know, just what else is happening here. I'll follow the group. Just
Alright.
no,
I don't know.
As
everyone here seems to be rather closed off. So
as you guys reach
That makes sense.
the center area here, the mournful sobbing floats through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness from the south building down here. The sounds flowing from a dark two-story townhouse. But you guys can continue on straight, as that is what the old man's gonna do unless someone says anything. And you guys can always come back
Mm,
later, I guess. So,
yeah.
that's fine.
Uh,
Back to Barovia. So, he'll speak up and almost in a somber voice, more somber than it's been, um, even as he explained how everyone's trapped here except for the Vistani. Um, uh, that village, the village of Barovia, it's the saddest place in the land, and I do hate that we have to always traverse through such a village whenever we enter this place, but it's also a good indicator of the overall atmosphere of Barovia. Its residents, they tend to be pretty terrified of the noble, and though they hate when he visits, which typically happens pretty often. Above the mist above us, that makes it hard to see through. That's where you'll find Castle Ravenloft. It's just hidden behind that fog. That's, well, you guys will see whenever you get closer to the uphill climb of it all.
hmm. Yeah.
It'll take a little time, but you guys will end up crossing the bridge and coming through here. Does anyone have anything they want to say or do at this point?
Why is
Uh,
it? Oh, you can go.
no, I was gonna pull out some cards to pass the time, play poker with you.
A walking game of poker that works. I was gonna say like,
Well, remember you're in the caravan, not walking. But that
oh
helps.
Right.
right,
Yeah.
right, okay, never mind. Um, it's like, why is it that they're all afraid of your noble? And but I guess is I'm guessing it's some sort of misunderstanding.
I don't wish to speak ill of the noble, and all I would like to mention is that, well, very likely if you are the group that we need, you'll be putting him down to rest rather than saving him.
Mhm.
When you say putting him down to rest, do you mean? And Bulbous draws his thumb across his neck.
If that is what it comes down to, then that is what must be done. Of course, I do wish the best for our noble, and I do hope you find another way around, but it's a reality we've come to accept.
If that does come to be the case, does that mean that we might inherit his fortune as it stands?
I can't say for certain. It's hard to say what you'll get out of this, but it is a noble, and he lives in a castle. If he is not around, I'm not sure what he's gonna do with his belongings.
Well, no, that does sound rather promising.
I mean, if we just got off the guy for some gold, like, I'm fine with that.
Well, as long as we get something out of it in the end, then I see no issue.
I mean, seeing as how we were tricked into this, yeah, I'm
Can't
gonna
take it
take
with
any.
you.
I bet he has some real nice materials around his place.
Definitely.
Bet he's got wooden spoons.
You know, he just well might. Wooden spoons, metal spoons. He might even have a copper spoon or two.
A copper spoon. That would be really cool to see.
Wouldn't it just? Also, I fold.
I'm gonna give y'all.
Bulbous takes the whole jackpot away.
Not that. You didn't put on your cards.
Oh, he puts down the cards and then proceeds to continue taking the whole jackpot away.
It, not quite, but
Don't
good.
worry, they're just wooden coins. He doesn't know the difference.
It's about the principle.
He bites one of the wooden coins and gets like splinters on his tongue and says, "Yeah, that's a coin."
Sure. Yes, very good. Very perceptive.
Well, thank you.
As you guys continue, just past the river, you guys come across a little crossroads here where the F is. An old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in three directions: Barovia Village to the east, Sear Pole to the northwest, and Ravenloft to the southwest. The northwest fork stance Oh, the northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across from the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of grave shrouded in fog.
Hmm.
Alright, and then he's going to make a right, heading up this pathway here. You guys have about 2 more hours, and then you guys will reach the encampment location. So, last chance for whatever it is that you guys want to do before the next part. You're in a cart, you're sitting together, so any last statements to make on each other, or anything you want to do with each other?
Um,
Can I try the whatever I've been working on? I'm gonna try to put them onto Bulbus's feet, see how they fit.
Yeah, let's.
They're still not done.
I'm gonna pick a skill for you. I
Okay.
think. Let's see.
animal handling.
Um,
It's like putting booties on a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna be
I
walking
them,
like this.
like them.
let's just make it. Let's just make it a flat D20 plus your proficiency. How's that? So.
Sure. Yeah. Two. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you said they're not done, so it's okay. You go to put them against his
It's
feet,
still-
and while you may have the length, the width is completely off.
I swear to God, these feet changed.
No, I'm pretty sure they're still the same feet. They're my feet. I've had them for my whole life.
Okay. Okay. Just let me.
I think
Oh.
you grew them yourself.
I just
I
met a
like
few
this
days.
guy. He's funny.
Well, I believe that honor goes to you for now, Bulbus.
I don't know how one makes shoes. I'm doing this.
Magic shoe.
Magic shoes.
Magic shoes would be awesome.
Yeah.
They
They
make
get a
me
little more
run faster.
powerful.
I do think that there was this one time I was at a tavern on this island.
As cool as everybody else, but really, it's just a social standing kind of thing to have the coolest shoes in the neighborhood, right?
I mean, that's
Just-
not just kids. Shoes are everything. Absolutely, it's social standing.
Well, they
Never
do say
understood.
that clothes make the man, and I suppose that shoes are part of clothes, so...
I
No,
mean, look at what Daphne's wearing, right? That's how you can tell if she's a solid, stand-up person over there. Look at those shoes.
Yeah, no, those are... I'm assuming that you made those.
Yeah, of course I made those.
Yeah, well, I mean, they looked good, so
Thank you. I know it.
And there you go.
All right, well, I need to get back to work on these disasters. Goblin shoes.
Goblin shoes, the Goblin 9s.
Mhm.
They're red, white, gold, and blue.
Oh no,
I was wondering if anybody would
not
get
the
that.
not the liberties.
The liberties. All right. Well. Daphne, I don't know if you know that you are muted, but you didn't respond to the shoe statements.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah, I don't
is
know
there
if they
anything?
know. Riot, are you there? Or did they step away for a moment?
Might have stepped
MIA.
away.
I know my internet glitched while you guys were role playing for a second there, so. But.
It also looks like they're on their phone, so it could be
Hmm,
something weird going on.
yeah. But, okay. So yeah, you guys reach. Um, you guys reach this encampment. So as you guys approach. Let me get your tokens. Actually, I think I have tokens. And let
That's
me
a lot of
choose.
horses.
Ooh.
Yeah. Alright.
It's an awful hot coffee pot.
Full hot coffee.
Got Eminem over here.
I got some mom spaghetti in my pocket. I got a sweater, but there's vomit on it already.
Alright.
Uh,
I don't know how much more
Bulbous
we can do
looks
before
at
we
it
take
like,
it down. No, go ahead.
Oh,
That was a joke.
Oh.
Bulbous, you're looking at what?
oh, Bulbous was like, I don't see the vomit, but... And he tries to press to digitate your shirt to be cleaner.
he's like, no, it's lyrics from this bard from that I met a while ago. Just something reminded me of it is all.
Ah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, Bulbous doesn't always get what people mean all the time, but I try really hard.
Yeah.
So the caravan would have stopped a little ways off so everyone can get out and walk up to this encampment. Here you would see a bunch of people hanging out around the campfire. The atmosphere here is much different than anything in Barovia so far. Everyone's lighthearted. It almost seems like everyone here is having like a small little party together too. So overall, it's just a very bright atmosphere here. It's a whole group of Vistani. So here, let me give you their handout. This is what they look like. I don't even know if it's gonna load. It's not loading on my screen.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Ah.
So yeah. Alright.
The lady on the right reminds me of Meg from Hercules.
Yes, totally.
The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There is a clearing here next to the river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. There are five colorful round tents. Each tent 10 feet in diameter. They're and pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake. That's this one over here. Shore of the lake, and its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around the bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge. So you guys can make your way in as you will.
Well, this place certainly does seem much more lively, and it's something that I'm rather used to.
Bulbous is running around the campfire dancing to the music.
Oh, there he goes. Well, when in a situation like this, he kind of just pulls out his water skin. He's like, takes some swigs out of it. He's like, anyone care for some rum?
I'm good, thanks.
Well, for me then. And just continues to drink it. And then just kind of walks towards the campfire, or where more people are, and it's like, oh, no, well, be careful with that flame.
As a couple of you
Bulbous is
approach, one of them will turn to see everyone, and he'll let out the first "Hey!" as everyone joins in. Hey, it's the ones that were foretold. They finally made it. Welcome, welcome to the camp. Oh, it was fated that you would visit our humble camp. Madam Eva herself foretold you coming. She awaits you.
Yes. Wait, for I thought we were that there was just happenstance that what's his name? Let me go over to my that Stanmer found us.
Oh, well, Madam Eva always knows the truth of what's to come. She is the seer of the camp, after all.
Interesting.
But if you're not in a rush, please join us for tales and cheers.
Well, plenty of those. Why not?
They'll.
I mean, I'm hungry. We can eat a little bit, but I don't know. We should probably talk to this woman sooner rather than later, right? What do you guys think?
Uh,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we're already here. It seems to be a good time going on. We can't exactly leave, so
Fair
we'll
enough.
enjoy ourselves a bit.
I'm very distrusting of these people since the first guy lied to us.
Well, how about
Oh, he
this?
didn't lie, but he just didn't hide the details in that we can't
I'll
leave.
I'll have one of our guys let Madam know that you're here. But for the meantime, please take some food, and you'll see like a pan was set up near the fire, and in it you see different chunks of fish, all well cooked on it. Um, and each of them lift up a wooden cup that seemed to be full of a yellowish liquid, ale, and they all do a swig as they cheer to you all. And while you wait to go see Madam, I would love to tell you about the Vistana's tale.
Bulbous gets very still when he hears someone wants to tell a story and immediately sits down next to the fire to hear the story.
Now, don't get it wrong, Vistana is just the tale of one of us, the Vistani. Vistani was our group name, after all. But please gather round, I'd love to tell you all about a mighty wizard who came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing right now. A very charismatic man he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against that devil Strahd. He stirred with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle in Moss. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook from the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when that devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him anymore. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death, down the cliffside. I climbed down to the river to search for that wizard's body, to see if, he had anything of value, after all. But the river Ivlis had already spirited him away.
Well, that is quite the tale.
Hopefully you all will not find yourselves in the same ending of this wizard.
Of course not, my friend. I would like to say I'm destined for something bigger, and I'm looking for a certain someone. So until I find him, I do not plan on dying anytime soon.
Excellent. That's great to hear. We're gonna need many abound, and I'm sure you all will be able to pass the test of Madam Eva.
Never been the greatest at tests, but I'm sure this won't be too bad.
All right,
What's
hold
a
on.
test?
Before we continue, oh, here we
It's
go.
like
Right,
it's
sent
like
me
a
a
bunch of
message
questions.
separately.
It's like a series of questions that you get asked, and you're already assigned a number at the end telling you how well you did.
That doesn't sound fun.
It's not often fun, no,
It's never fun.
So why do people do it?
because some people are nerds.
Ha! Nerds. This guy's cool.
Yes, when you live on the sea, you pick up quite a thing or two.
I don't know if y'all noticed, Daphne had to leave. Hopefully she's able to come back, but if not, um, hopefully she can just catch up on the stream. We should be alright to keep moving forward, though, she said.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's unfortunate.
It
yeah.
happens.
Alright, well, once you all have your fill of your food and drink, Madame Eva's tent is right before the horses. You can make your way in there, and she'll see you as soon as you enter.
Right. They probably after like 10 minutes or so. Cyrus is probably ready to go in.
Oh,
I'm ready. How about you,
Okay.
Daphne? I won't play her the whole time. I just
It's all good. Let me give y'all. Let me do this one.
Probably say like just around these people just out of habit. Cyrus kind of holds his ring a little closer to him, or like he puts like his other hand on top of it.
All right. All right. Yeah, you guys can make your way into the tent.
Yippee.
Let me show you. This is Madame Eva. All right. As you guys open the flap to the tent, magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of the tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last you have arrived. Cackling with laughter burst like mad lightning from her withered lips. It took you long enough. Well, please take a seat.
Right.
Bulbous immediately sits down. Like, I really like this lady. Like this vibe right here. That's a vibe.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
word.
stand. I'm gonna keep standing, and I'm gonna stay really close to Daphne.
I'll just take a seat next to Bulbous. Like, yes. Apologies about that. Again, to help myself around a good party, as it were.
Move you guys forward here too. Well, allow me a chance to show you your future. She'll have a couple sets of cards that she'll put side by side on the table. She'll begin shuffling one of them, this one being the thicker of the stack. You all, I knew you'd be here, and you are in the numbers of which I expected. So, that said, you all are definitely the lot I was looking for.
I
I,
mean, okay.
I'm sure you were told of. I'm sure you were told of the threat that Barovia has.
It might have been mentioned, yes.
Strahd is. He was a noble at one point, and many of the Vistani only call him a noble at this point. Sorry, it's really hard to hold her voice.
Yeah.
That said, there's always a way to take anyone down. She'll. Alright, let me take y'all to this page.
Well,
Alright. My Taroka reading cards, they'll be able to tell you where things will be.
Kind of things.
Alright,
interesting.
let me get the right things open. She'll take one card out of the deck, and she'll flip it. It'll be face down, right here.
Is this poker? I just learned poker.
She's just gonna ignore you. This card tells the history. Knowledge of the ancients will help you better understand your enemy. She'll take another card, and she'll place it on the north side. This card tells of a powerful force for good, for protection. A holy symbol of great hope. She'll take one last card from this thicker deck and place it face down on the right. This card is the card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. She'll put that deck down, and she'll grab a smaller deck and begin to shuffle it in her hands. She'll take the top card, put it face down on the bottom here. This card sheds light on one who will help with great ability in the battle against this darkness. And she'll take one more card and place it in the center. And finally this. This is your enemy. The creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. Okay, so she will then go and turn. This is not the right. There it is. That's the one I need. And that's the one I need. Okay. She'll flip over this card here on the left. Hold on. How do I do? There we go. Flip card. Let me zoom in for the camera.
Interesting.
The merchants, also known as the Four of Coins, seek a cask that once contained the finest wine, of which not a drop remains.
What?
Then she'll flip this one. The Druid. The Five of Glyphs. An evil tree grows atop a hill of graves, where the ancient dead sleep. The ravens can help you find it. You'll look for this treasure there. Then she'll flip this one. Oh, and the warrior. Master of Swords. There it is. That which you seek lies in the womb of darkness, the devil's lair, the one place to which he must return. Now I need this one. She'll flip this card over. Ooh, the Seer. Ability I'm aware of. Ooh, this, also known as the Jack of Clubs. Look for a dusk elf living among the Vistani. He has suffered great loss and is haunted by some dark dreams. You help him, and he will help you in return. I'm going to send you guys all these lovely, super descriptive statements.
Thank you.
And then I think I need a different one for this one. This one is, yep. And then your enemy, in the donjon, King of Clubs. He lurks in a hall of bones, in the dark pits of his own castle. Okay, so let me send all these to you. So, card 1 on the left. You know what? I think I have it here. Merchant, 4 of coins. And they said, card 3 on the right. Warrior, Master of Swords. Alrighty. Stars. There we go. Coins. Card 2 on top. Remember, we can always look back at the stream. 5 of glyphs. Card 4 on bottom. Seer. Okay. Jack of clubs. It's gonna be in your notes thing. I just gotta do the last one. Card 5, center. And that is the donjon, which is King of Clubs.
There.
King of Clubs. There you go.
Awesome.
Alright. Now you got all your notes, got everything there. Oh, I do wish you all the best of luck, and I hope my fortune telling will be of use. Do you understand of what I've told you?
Not really, no.
Not a little bit.
I think I got it, but just to be sure, repeat the whole thing again. I wasn't listening.
Your 3 cards that were first flipped, your merchant, your druid, your warrior, they represent sorry. They represent the location you'll find what you need to fight Strahd.
So where are these locations at? Do you know?
I gave you the information.
Cryptically, yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, one was in a cask of wine. Like, there's probably lots of casks of wines around here.
Well, if you want to sound merchant, we can go and check any sort of towns that might have those. We just passed by one, so perhaps that.
Bar crawl!
Huh?
Bar crawl!
Yeah, exactly. We go do a bar crawl.
tell you where to go, well, what would you learn from this experience? As you stand no chance against Strahd. Your journey is one that you need as much as we do.
But aren't we doing you the favor? Why are you not helping us more?
I've given all the information I can.
But you cannot if
Fine.
you're willing to give.
Can Bulbous stare deeply into the crystal ball on the table?
Oh god.
If you want, I guess. It's gonna look
Like,
to you.
I didn't know. Like, could I use like Arcana on it or anything? See if there's any magic about her crystal ball.
Of course there's magic on a crystal ball. What do you mean?
What kind of magic?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What happens when I
Oh.
stare in?
It's divination. So I'm trying. Maybe I'm not understanding your question.
Like, so like the crystal ball is used to see the future. So I want to stare deeply into it and see if I can see the future.
Oh no, it's gonna be blank for you.
Oh,
It means you're already dead.
She'll notice you're staring. This is a craft that takes a lot of time to learn. One cannot just simply look at the crystal ball.
well, I learned poker in like 30 minutes, and I got pretty good at that.
Silas just kind of nods and just mouths no.
Alright. So I'm gonna, without the weird voice, I'm gonna say it again. So, item number 1, which is on the left card, that is your merchant. Seek a cask that once contained the finest wine, of which not a drop remains.
Okay.
So it's not just any wine. It's not just like a water skin.
Fine.
It's a very specific thing. Um, then you got your druid, which is number 2, item number 2 on the top. An evil tree grows atop a hill of graves where the ancient dead sleep. The ravens can help you find it. Look for the treasure there.
Hmm.
And then on the right, you got the warrior. That which you seek lies in the womb of darkness, the devil's lair, the one place to which he must return.
Well, with at
So
least
booze.
Hmm?
No, go ahead. Sorry, you were first.
I was just well, with at least the my guess would be if it's the finest wine that was here, that type of cask would assume would either be at a place that has the most money, or it would be at what was it that you guys called it, Castle Ravenloft. And it seems that well, this devil, as I've said, sounds to be this Strahd, and if he lives in the Ravenloft Castle, that might be where we could find this, or whatever it is this third card is asking us, or telling us. So perhaps we need to go investigate the castle itself.
So I just want to
But
jump straight
I
into
mean, it's
it.
the best lead we have, right?
it's what it sounds like, because I don't think anybody here can speak to animals. So I don't know if we can have those ravens lead us to this hill.
So let's do it like
We
this
can
real
always.
quick before you guys keep doing that. Well, that is all I can tell you. But you're welcome to stay the evening here in our encampment, and by tomorrow, hopefully you know where to go. And she'll kind of just wave you guys on out. You guys can talk to people that live in Barovia now, so you don't have to just game faces or whatever. Wargaming. That's what it's called.
Hmm.
Where you're just guessing. Yeah, you can talk to people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, we passed by one merchant, and if it's the merchant card, maybe he knows something about that.
Good thought.
We could go talk to him.
Yeah,
Um,
talk to him about some wine.
yeah,
Maybe
maybe he
somebody get
knows.
some booze.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to go and get. Well,
Makes more sense to me than anything else right now. We
yeah.
don't know any warriors or druids or Don Johns.
Don John. Yeah, I thought it was a funny word when I saw it too. I was like, okay.
The
Well,
Don John. Yeah.
I was like, do you mean a dungeon?
That yeah.
They did not. But anyways, so yeah, you guys have your night here, um, and yeah, you have tents, you have carts. If you guys want to look at stuff, investigations, I mean, you guys can do pretty much whatever you want right now.
Well,
Oh yeah, Ponder, I'll be right back. I can still hear you.
yeah. Well,
Did we get a description of? I mean, well, wait. Dean will tell when we get back. But like, what these
Okay.
people look like? Sorry, take your time,
I
Dean.
sent you
Just
that.
for when you get back.
I sent you that picture thing. Remember?
Yeah, there was a handout.
Oh, you did
Yeah.
give a picture thing. Sorry. Okay, so they sort of look like
yeah,
wanderers.
like
Yeah,
kind of like
they're
yellow
a group of
people.
wanderers. Everything's like
Yeah.
off colored, but
Cool, cool,
they're
cool.
just wanderers. They're regular like humans, mostly. Maybe a couple elves.
Itsy carrots.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna look through these like cards or whatnot. Maybe we should wait until people are asleep. But honestly, I don't think we really have much of a reason to start looking through their things. I mean, sure, the guy that brought us here didn't exactly give us the whole truth, but the lady at least told us things that we needed to know.
Yeah.
Cryptically.
Let me look
No.
at my sneakiness here. No, I'm not very sneaky.
Maybe somebody just outside of game, of course. You said wine, druids, and the womb of Satan. Did I hear that correct?
I think it was the womb of devil. Or
Yes.
Here, wait. It's
evil?
all in the notes. The womb.
Yeah,
So
womb of darkness,
womb of
the
darkness.
devil's
Okay.
lair. That's what it was.
By the way, seers are always cryptic. That's just like how seers are.
Yeah,
Sure.
I figured.
No, I know that.
So
Just my character being all that was super not helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get a good vibe off of her.
She's absolutely terrifying, and I just think that's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
You know, I seem to get the impression you think a lot of things are just the best thing ever.
Yeah. Like that stream over there, greatest thing ever. Those horses, greatest thing ever. You, greatest thing ever.
Well, thank you, but you do know what greatest means, yes?
Yeah, it means you're my best friend.
Close, but it means it's the top. There can't be multiple greatest things ever. That's why you say greatest, as in of all time. You know, a goat, as it were.
Bulbous looks around for a goat.
No, not a goat. It's a like abbreviation. Greatest G of all a time. T goat. It's you know.
I think
Bulbous is fully picking his nose again.
this is a lost cause, my man.
I'll get through to him eventually.
You're better than I. All right. Well, I might go sit down next to just people the fire, and I might nod to them, but I'm not going to start talking to any of them. But do I overhear anything happening?
It's just them bantering and,
Okay.
having a good time.
I'm going to take out tools and, make shoes.
Alright, do you want to go ahead and roll the same thing, d20 plus 2?
Sure.
How dark is it outside by this point?
It was already pretty dark even when it was quote-unquote daytime, but it is nighttime, so it's like really dark, and anything that you could have seen is covered by the mist.
Don't I have dark vision as a goblin?
Yeah, so you can still see,
That's...
but it's still really dark. So most things are in black and white for you. That's what dark vision does.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm gonna go make friends with the horses.
It takes a couple more hours, but I'm gonna say... Oh, she stepped away. I'll wait till she gets back then. Tell her how she did. What are you doing? You're messing with the horses?
No, not messing. Making friends with the horses and talking to them because I like animals.
Alright, animal handling then, please.
Okay, what is my animal handling him? Oh, +5.
Can Bulbous sneak around and find anything left unattended?
God.
There's multiple tents. Everyone's around the campfire right now. And there's also these are carriages. So
24.
yeah, you can. Oh, that's your animal handling. The horse.
Yeah, I got +5.
The horse is friendly to you and allows you to pet it. With an 11, I will say that you finish those boots and that they are the proper fit for Bulbous.
Hey, Bulbous! I toss them over to him.
Bulbous takes the boots and looks at them.
What? But he's gonna eat them.
Before he goes into that, did you just make normal boots or did you apply your one-a-day feature?
Oh, I might as well have applied my one-a-day feature, which I'm gonna remind myself of right now. I read it all before we started playing, but it's been long enough that I already forgot. Spell slots curious when I hire.
It's the,
I'll just look on my...
the sharpened toes.
Yeah, the sharpened toes.
So for 24 hours, you have advantage on stealth checks, right?
Beautiful. All right, so I'll let them know that. Until about this time tomorrow, if you wear these, you're gonna be a little quieter than you would otherwise, and they go on your feet.
Bulbous slowly pulls the shoes onto his feet.
I'm sorry, it's acrobatics, not stealth.
You're gonna be a little more sprightly.
And you have 10 more feet of movement.
That too.
Ooh.
Hey.
He looks at you and looks at the shoes, and then he pulls them on, and then he looks at you, and you see like a tear running down his eye. And he's like, "Nobody's ever given me a gift before." And then he starts hugging you and like snottily crying onto you.
I guess you're a little taller than me, right? So like.
Yeah.
They're there.
You guys are like the same height. You guys are you're 1 inch apart.
Nice. Okay. So just. Okay. Yeah. Just.
Massa has given Dobby a sock.
I was literally thinking.
It is full on giving Dobby a sock. And he just kind of looks at the shoes and looks and just continues bawling his eyes out for just a minute, and then he takes out this like little straw doll, like this little toy almost, and shows it to you and says, "This is my favorite, bestest thing in the whole world. And since you gave me something, I want you to hold on to something from me." And he gives it to you.
Wow. That's actually pretty cool.
It is very, very old and just like held together with like, like you've probably seen him like bend over every now and again and pick up like a strip of grass as you guys have traveled together. And kind of bend over something. He's continuously repairing this old straw doll, like stuffing it back and tying it back together where it needs to be tied.
Awesome. Yeah, so I didn't like the hug, and I wasn't really giving you any emotion, but she definitely like breaks a little bit, and I was like that. It means something. She's like, cool, cool, yeah, yeah, I'll take care of it. Yeah, hugs it a little
Good
bit.
friend.
No.
But yeah, border is Silas, right? No,
I'm
Stuff.
Silas.
no, Callister. Yeah, Callister. The 19 was your animal handling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and +5.
yeah.
But
Uh,
19.
did someone was gonna sneak around, right? I thought I heard.
Yes, Bulbous is definitely after the exchange of the shoes and the doll. Bulbous kind of sneaks off and just kind of starts looking around camp very stealthily for things that have been left unattended.
Go ahead and roll your stealth. Okay. Um, you find these back three tents with no one around them. The doors are open, so you can even see that there's no one inside them.
Hmm. Is there anything shiny very close to my hand?
On the outside, no.
No, no, like right inside the open tent door. Like I just kind of want to peek around either direction, and if there's something within grabbing distance of walking in the front door of those.
Um. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do that. Let me just roll this 3 times. Okay. Okay. So two of them don't have anything near the front, but the one here on the right, it has a pouch with like a slight overflow of gemstones in it.
Oh, I definitely want to snatch that.
The whole bag.
Yes, I want to try to snatch the whole if it's within reach.
Wow. All right. I mean, I'll allow it, I guess. No one's there, so this is crazy. How many are you supposed to have?
Would
Damn.
that be sleight of hand?
Yeah, you got that for sure. And you got that. You're taking the whole pouch, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this pouch contains gemstones. Inside you find 10, 18 gemstones.
Well, that's pretty good.
Nice.
That is a crazy amount.
And I just want to hide that pouch somewhere down in one of my bags.
You have, you technically have 2 bags, so, which I imagine one's more like a fanny pack.
Yes, it's definitely a fanny pack. That's canon.
So,
God.
I mean, you can't have 2 backpacks, right? But yeah, you do have your backpack and your fanny pack, so.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna stow that away in my fanny pack, and then walk back
I
into
don't
the.
know. I don't know if 18 gems can fit in a fanny pack.
How big are the gems?
I imagine they're probably like a rock size, like hand size.
Oh, that is a big gem.
Yeah.
Look at Chaos
Okay.
Emerald.
Instead of the fanny pack, I'll just stuff them down in the big book bag that I carry on my back.
Okay, that makes more sense. That's fine.
I thought they were more like cut gemstones for like a ring type thing.
Nah, remember these are wanderers, so it's just whatever they've gathered in their travels.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hide those gemstones in my bag and then work my way back into the camp.
All right. It's kind of like everyone's doing their own thing. Hold on. Hold on. So I kind of like try to go back into Madame Eva's tent, and I ask her the question I just sent you. I'm like, hey, do you happen to know anything about this? I was told you know
Oh,
things about magic.
of course I know of your friend.
That's one way. Yeah.
It's your core contribution to your powers, ain't it?
Yes.
There's something you wish to know?
Well, I've never really interacted with a being like that much before, at least not prior to the last year. But just, I don't know if it's something that I need to be uh, alerted about, or if I should be concerned.
Well, those beings all have their own personalities. Sorry. Perhaps it would be best that you speak to them yourself. There should
Hmm.
be a way for you to enter their domain after all.
Yes, I think I know the way to do that. Just was a bit on edge about trying that, but I suppose it's something I better do soon if we're going to be going up against some sort of uh, giant evil. But
You shouldn't let fear be a wall. It should be an obstacle, something to improve yourself with.
well, that is, I suppose, what I wished for. I guess it's a bit of a monkey's paw. You may always be careful what you wish for. But well, thank you for that. I suppose I should probably figure out how to do that then. Uh, Thank you. And then he just kind of goes back out and just um, sits around the fire.
As you're leaving the tent, she'll say, "You should let your friend know not to be too greedy. You're welcome to gather some items, but sparse is the goal."
Uh,
I meant to say
uh,
goal.
what do you? Which are we still talking about? That the same friend, or are we talking about the little one?
Your caravan has interesting fingers.
That I know well enough, but there is a time and place to pick pockets. But
Perhaps that's
yes,
a lesson your friend would like to learn.
well, I suppose I have to guide him with that. But I'll, I'll let him know.
She'll go back to her crystal ball as you leave.
Okay. Has anyone seen the small one?
You would be over here right now.
Yes.
She would be wherever you are.
I'm still by the campfire and I'm whittling what looks to be very, very tiny shoes. Is it whittling? I wouldn't be whittling. Leathering.
Carving?
It's
No, working with leather.
like
So
Yeah.
cobbling.
it's
Very, very tiny shoes.
cobbling requires like hammers and like glues. So like you'd have
I'm making moccasins. I'm
You'd
making
have-
something. They look like about this big. I'm just working very intently on it.
All right. I believed Silas. Did you ask someone a question?
I was like, does anybody know where the small one went?
I can point which direction he went, right? Because I think he left after he talked to me.
I
That
Yeah, I
way.
think so. Well, I think we have to be a bit careful. she seems to know what it is that's going on. So whatever it is that he's doing, she's well aware of. I guess I'll go find him and tell him that. Then I'll just kind of wander off and try to find him.
All right. It won't be long before you found them.
Hmm?
It won't be long before you find them.
No.
Does anyone want to do anything? I know you're working on your shoes. Uh, are you just hanging out with a horse, Callister?
Basically, just talking to the horses. I talk to them; they don't talk back to me.
Okay. No, not a problem.
Look at
Are
my
you doing
horse.
the? Okay, I know what you're doing. Cool. You should have rolled animal handling with advantage then. But that said, we can circle back to yeah. You guys can just continue. So Silas and
Right.
Bulbus.
Oi, Bulbous. You around
Yeah,
here?
yeah, I'm over here. What's going on? What's up, buddy?
Um, I might have to show you a thing or two on how to take things because uh, you see, Madam Eva does seem to know that you're grabbing things, but she said it's not a problem. At least not yet. Where she said we're allowed to take some things, just be light on what it is that we take.
Hmm. Bulbous kind of looks around and is like, "How did anyone see me?"
I don't know. Perhaps it has something to do with that ball that she had.
You mean the big glass thing sitting on the table?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, no harm, no foul, I guess.
At
She's not
least
mad about
not
it.
this. No, not this time. But she did say to be a bit careful on that.
So don't do it again. That's fine.
You see, it's a thing where people typically call it illegal, but I'd always believe that nothing is truly illegal unless you get caught. But in this case, Matamiva saw but didn't really care, so I think it's okay this time. But uh, if you're trying to take things from people, this is a good rule. You know, and nobody's around, you're able to do it and get away. But another good thing is always to do it in big crowds because you're not able to really pinpoint one person when there's lots of people around.
Yeah, and there's more people to steal from then.
Exactly.
Ah, I like the way you think. And
Well,
he's gonna give you one of the gemstones from the bag.
oh, I'm assuming this is the things that you were grabbing.
Yeah, I found like two of them, and you can have one.
Oh well. Hmm.
I'm gonna
Can
have
I?
you roll deception against his insight.
Yeah. Okay.
You can roll the insight because it's a battle roll or contest roll. Gotta be the 19.
19.
Yeah.
Man,
13.
13. All right. Well,
Yeah.
then you believe him on only
Yeah.
finding two.
Well, uh, happy that you decided to share one with me. I'll keep this in my pocket then, or in my bag, I suppose. It's rather bulky. But uh, you can continue doing what you're doing, but just keep in mind that Madame Eva knows.
Well,
Uh,
it's no fun to steal when somebody knows what you're doing.
mm, Sometimes, but it all just depends on whether or not you can get away with it.
I'll remember that, buddy.
hmm and then I'll just go back over to the campfire and just sit down. And be like, well, I'm gonna go sit down and drink some more. You can continue whatever this is. I saw nothing.
I would actually work my way back. Bulbous knows not to push his luck too much.
Let me.
Alright, well, you guys make your way back. So, yeah, you guys can just drink and eat for the night. Did you guys want to talk to these guys at all about anything?
1 second.
Bulbous has already fully forgotten what y'all are supposed to be doing.
um,
You're gonna notice that there's one shoe on the little doll that was given to me, and I'm working on a second one.
I see.
Bulbous is fully in tears.
I guess around the campfire, I'll just tell whoever would answer first. I'd just come back. So, do any of you know where a uh, a cask would be that held the uh, some of the finest wine? Would that is that in like one of like a town nearby, or
Just give me 1 second. Trying to see exactly where it is. There it is. Okay, W. Where's that at? W. There it is. Oh, you're looking for the finest wine in Barovia, eh?
Yes, I'm a bit of a connoisseur.
Oh, well, here you go. And he'll hand you a cup with some of the wine in it. We got this from those folks ourselves. We're the best wines on the west coast of Barovia, after all.
The West Coast.
Oh, I forget you're new to this land. Yes, you look for the Wizard of Wines. They're very, well, talented, and the creation of winery in their vineyard is something to behold. I hear we thought the land was too starched to hold any crops, but yet there they are with probably the most impressive vineyard I've ever seen.
Well, if they're wizards, then there's no wonder they most likely use some type of magic.
I'll give you a pat on the back. Aha! The man with an answer. I knew
Right.
Madam was right about you all.
Right, so the West Coast. Maybe we can head west and check that out. Of course, that merchant's a lot closer, so perhaps we stop by him first. Now, do you happen to know anything about what was it? An evil tree on a hill with graves?
It's hard to say. There's quite a bit of graves all over the Barovia. Do you speak of an actual graveyard?
Well, it's something like something about the ancient where the ancient dead lies. I can't assume that there'd be a lot of hills with an evil tree and ancient dead sleeping there.
Well, it's hard to say. I can't say I know too much. Again, I've only been on the outsides of the locations throughout Barovia. Perhaps it's somewhere indoors.
Doors. Oh, interesting.
And then the last one.
Well then, I'm just gonna go back to sipping on some of that wine then, I guess.
Bulbous is gonna ask people if they know anything about Satan's womb.
Satan's womb. I mean that could refer to quite a few things.
That lady in the tent said something about where the devil goes to rest.
Oh, that'd likely be up on the top of the hill in Castle Ravenloft, given that you consider Strahd to be a devil.
Do you consider Strahd to be a devil?
He is but a noble, perhaps one of ill mind at the time, but noble indeed.
Aristocrats.
What'd you call me?
No. See, there's this joke about a mom and a dad and their kids, and
Oh
they
no.
go. I was wondering if anybody think of the
That took me a second. Oh my god.
Oh no.
proceeds to tell the aristocrats joke.
Just see if this has a location. It's got a. What was your joke? I think you fell short on the actual statement.
Oh, it's the aristocrats joke.
What is that? What's the aristocrat's joke?
From Brandon Rogers.
It's basically it can you come up with the dirtiest possible story you possibly can, and then is it that the punchline's always the same, or is it just titled the same? There's a whole documentary.
Punchline's always
about
the
it.
aristocrat.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
joke is a mom, a dad, and their kids walk into this place and they're doing a talent show, and the talent person says, "What's your talent?" And the mom and the dad and the kids all strip naked and they start shitting and pissing all over the place, and the room starts leaking. They make everybody throw up. The room is just full of bile and disgust at this point. The family starts rolling in it and throwing it at each other and throwing it at the talent agent. And the talent agent screams, "What are you doing?" And they said, "We're the aristocrats."
What?
It's a lot more. It's at least the one that like Brandon Rogers had made on YouTube is just a lot more detailed and
It's a lot more detailed. Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing so much context because I'm like,
I think
yeah.
part of the
what?
point is knowing about the joke before you hear the joke, so that you just see how vulgar they can get.
Oh,
You should check out the aristocrats joke after this.
I guess
Yeah.
so. 'Cause I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's pretty vile.
Yeah.
It's a good joke.
It's a very much if you're into dark humor
Yeah.
kind of
I mean, I
thing.
like dark
Very
humor.
meta humor.
Yeah.
I like dark humor, but you know, I just don't understand. But anyways, did you have another question for him before you called him?
No, I was just curious. Yeah, I was just curious if that's what they were talking about was the castle.
Oh, well, very likely. There was a third item that you haven't asked about. The third item location.
Yeah, the warrior, wasn't it?
Yeah, the warrior.
Yeah, but I think we gathered that what was it? Let's see, warrior, the womb of darkness, devil's lair. Yeah, and then we asked we asked about all three. We asked about we figured that the merchant or the cask is probably going to be
So right over
wherever
here, this W on the far left, that is the Wizards of Winery, I think is what they call it.
yeah.
Oh,
This one.
the
Wizards of
Dusk
Wines.
Elf.
The Wizard of Wines is over
Oh,
here.
yeah, that's right. The dusk elf.
Yep, that. But I mean, you got the information you got from that. You know, it's one of the people. But everyone here is human.
Mm.
So, but the Vistanis are made up of humans and elves. But this particular encampment has only the humans. And then you asked about the second location, which you got a vague answer as he didn't really know.
Yeah, it sounded like he was talking about like a hill. So my guess would be there might be some information up at. I think we might find a decent amount of what we're looking for in Castle Ravenloft if we can manage to find a way to get in without Strahd knowing that we're there, or at least without him catching us. But I feel like that's a bit of a gamble.
Well, my mind is about to go, boy, so if there's anything else you'd like to ask me, now's the time before I finish this drink.
Do you know anything about a dark elf? Or what was it?
Dust.
Yeah, dusk elf.
Well, we have a number of different elves in the Vistanis. Perhaps it's one of us, but our caravan split and we have many locations around Barovia.
Well, but specifically this one, being a dusk elf, that he's suffered a lot, and I believe he needs help.
Well, we've all suffered. That's part of living in Barovia, after all.
So it seems, but or most all of you hunted by dark dreams.
Well, that's hard to say. I don't remember much, including my dreams, and he'll take another swig.
Hmm. Do any of you remember dreams?
My tip is that you forgot about the third item. Number 3, card number 3. You haven't asked
The
about that
warrior. Hmm. Let's
The Womb
see.
of Darkness, where
The Devil's Lair, the one place where he must return. That sounds like it's Castle Ravenloft.
one. Well,
Do you-
before the castle was there, he had to live somewhere.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well,
I remember he
where did
lived.
he live?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard to remember. He'll take another swig as he's still failing to remember. He lived. Oh, I just know he lived somewhere inside of Barovia before he had that castle built. Uh, I'm sure. I'm sure someone will be able to tell you soon. I believe it was somewhere north, near a lake. The name escapes me.
hmm. Noted. Okay, so let me. Since we don't have our note taker, let me write something down.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, someone needs to write down what you're getting. The Wizard of Wine over at W. Something likely hidden somewhere in the castle. The Dusk Elf, he didn't really tell you too much about that. And the third item is, well, he had to live somewhere else before he had the castle.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, hold on. We got the wizards to the west, his old place where he used to live to the north. Uh, and then, so we got the casket to the west, or at least information on it, possibly over to the west, where the Wizards of Winery are. We don't really know about the tree, or the hilltop. But if we can find some ravens to talk to, then maybe. And then the Womb of Darkness to the north by a lake. Okay. Well, I suppose we'll have to look around first. Thinking that possibly we should go back over to the village of Barovia. Maybe Maybe the merchant knows a thing or two. We'll have to see. Well, thank you for whatever, uh, whatever information you could give us.
Of course. But tonight, you're free to lose your mind one last time before things get real.
Yes, well, thank you for that. Well, be sure to indulge. At least I'll be sure to indulge myself in this.
Bulbous pulls out a bag of mushrooms.
Uh,
Oh, okay. Where'd
like
that,
just
where'd that come from?
No, no, too much. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, my bad.
Just what?
okay. Wait, hold on. Like regular mushrooms, or are we talking like magic mushrooms?
The dude was like, "Get ready to lose your mind." That was where I made.
okay. Do you do psychedelics?
Yeah, you don't.
I haven't done it much. It's been a long. It's been a quite a decent amount of time since I have done it last, anyways.
You want one?
Well, why the hell not? I suppose. Uh,
Bulbous told. Bulbous gives you magic mushrooms.
do
Oh yeah.
That's a
we?
gold piece. Okay.
Oh. Okay. Well, let me see here. Um. How about I give you 2 silver?
Ooh, yeah, that works too. Money's money.
That's fair. Okay. Let me mark down removing of 2 silver. Okay. Do we have any like? Okay, I'll just eat the mushroom. Do we have any like effects for that?
You know what? Hold on, I got a book actually.
There's a book for that.
It's technically a different game, but it applies, right? Yeah, it applies. All right. So let's see what the runes of Symbarum have to say about the drug use parts, because there are drugs in this version of TTRPG. Um,
That should just be implemented into every game.
let's let's compare it to Dream Snuff, I guess. Um, the drug is treacherous in the sense that anyone who has tried it always wants more of the wonderful dreams it causes. When living a life without any other pleasures, the risk is great that the user gets caught up in the dreams and fades away. It is only thanks to the restricted access controlled the whole. Okay. A dose of this lasts for 1 hour, during which most affected creatures are stunned. So when you guys eat these mushrooms, you're gonna have the stunned effect. You're basically not gonna be able to move.
That makes sense.
Mystics, however, are not stunned. I would go with elves on that instead of mystics. So if you're an elf, your speed is reduced by half, and you have disadvantage on all ability checks instead. This drug helps in producing vivid illusions. If a mystic affected by uh, mushrooms casts an illusion, then other creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against the illusion and on perception checks to identify it as an illusion.
Hmm.
So, let's see who's having it?
Me
Bulbous?
and Volus.
Who's me? Silas?
Silas, yeah.
Oh, those two? What a combo. Well, my two warlocks. You want to just guess what you're gonna hallucinate?
I um.
That's right, it's your patrons.
Oh.
So, going back to this. Silas, you are. You're elf. No, nope, you're not. Alright, well then, neither of you can move, you're stunned, and you believe that your patrons have shown up. Um, I'll say the Great Old One is here, and it just looks like almost like a shadow figure with glowing white eyes peering at you. Um, and like it has this almost like smoke effect that makes it like the actual details of it unable to be seen, but it is kind of like almost like doubled, so it's like blurred and slightly moving. So you see those. And for our other one, your I don't want to say what your patron is yet, but you see her kind of come out here, and she doesn't seem to be attached to what she's supposed to be attached to at all. She seems to have free movement, and she's looking at you um, with like a disgust look on her face.
Oh boy. Well, in the language that she knows, I'll just kind of be saying like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. How you're supposed to be in there. How are you out here? What?
Bulbous, you speak that same language, so you heard that at the same time. Because they're speaking primordial. But you also have your own thing going on, so what do you say, Bulbous? The eyes kind of furrow, so they do look mad. Bulbous, are you there? Are you muted?
I don't think he's not muted.
Did they step away? Alright,
Uh oh
Uh-oh. What's happening?
oh,
oh there he is.
Oh, can
Are
you
we
hear me
good?
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there he
Okay,
is.
I don't know why. It's done that like 3 times now.
that's crazy.
Yeah, you're good. So Bulbous is looking at his patron, and Bulbous doesn't understand any of this. He doesn't understand that this is his patron. He just knows that occasionally he sees this strange visage appear before him, and Bulbous just asks, "What are you?"
Okay, I'll start with Bulbous. I am the one that gives you strength, and you squander your time.
What strength?
Let's roll an Arcana. Let's do that. Disadvantage, of course. Cool. With a failed Arcana, um, as you ask what strength, you'll see the eyes peer toward your hand as it furrows into a brow. Your hand, when you look at it, there's like a black electric charge building up before it just, without your uh, without your want, it just shoots straight up into the sky. Your power can only grow unless you squander your opportunity.
Hmm.
I'll let you sit with that. Silas, yours is gonna look at you and say, "Is this what we've come to? Sitting there, unable to move, eating who knows what from a goblin."
He seemed like he meant well. It was a bit of the like a like an end of world party type of thing. Get having one more night of fun before gods know what happens next.
Well, I know what happens next, and it's you losing every ability you have. Our agreement does not include these drugs.
Perhaps you're right, but I don't even know what I'm capable of. I don't know what these abilities are, let alone how to use them.
Find me within, and we can help you grow on the outside.
Hmm.
Knowledge is a step forward. This,
Yeah.
this is not a step forward. This is a disappointing action.
Well, with all that's I mean, I can only assume that you know the things that led me to asking for your help. So, can you really blame me for wanting to indulge myself in a bit of absent-minded activities?
You ask me if I blame you? I am you. This is not your visage. Look at my free movement as she moves around. You know better. And this is your own consciousness letting you know that. It's time to grow up. And she'll fade away from you.
Hmm. Then, just kind of in back in common, Silas just goes, "Man, I am fucked up."
The couple of guys around you that are like half awake, they'll just give you a cheer.
It's like, so what you guys? Yeah, I did drugs. I, s- I saw things.
So everyone heard Silas speaking primordial, which is like a rough, almost like a gaunty type of speak, while um, Bulbous was just speaking regular common. Which Bulbous, you'll see the eyes fade away as they continue to be furrowed, um, and the shadow figure just completely evaporates from your view. Um, is anyone else doing anything else while these two are ruining their future?
No, I finished the other shoe. That's about it.
Nice. The doll has shoes. All
Hmm.
right.
I
Um.
have just left the horses and I'm now joining them at the fire, watching this all unfold.
All right. You see your two guys kind of just splayed out on the grass, unable to move, looking around. One looks really anxious. The other one just looks confused. The goblin looks confused. Um. You see a little doll with two shoes on it at this point. Does anyone want to do anything for the rest of this evening, or are we wrapping up the evening?
I think. Well, I don't think I can do much else besides
Yeah,
just
I think I'm
being
good.
stunned.
Lost him again. There he is.
It keeps muting my mic unless I rejoin.
That's
Oh,
really
weird.
weird. I've never heard.
That
I've never heard of
I've
that issue.
never. Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe it's. I've had a thing where my computer will stop recognizing my headphones for a minute, but then it like goes back after a couple seconds. I don't really know.
I'm
Um,
just using the built-in one, but that's okay. I was about ready to wrap up too.
yeah, we got a couple more minutes. So, whatever you guys want to do, or we can just you guys go to sleep and we can wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I'm ready for sleep.
And so yeah, when you guys wake up, it'll seem pretty dark out compared to what you're used to. The daylight is completely covered by a hefty cloud in the sky, not to mention the actual mist that continues to persist in the area. As you guys wake up, many of these guys are gonna be in their tents. Let's say these two are in this thing. These two right there. So yeah, most people are. There's a couple people still out and about, but for the most part, everyone's kind of gone. Um, and yeah, you guys gonna see some people making breakfast. Um, it's mostly just eggs with some jerky set over to the side, and like a basket of apples.
Oh,
That's you guys.
oh God, I I feel like I'm hungover, but I didn't even have that much to drink. What the hell were in those mushrooms?
I think his Discord muted them again.
Uh oh.
We're gonna have to hang out after this and get that figured out because that's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen that issue before.
Oh.
Does anyone want to do
And
anything first thing in the morning, or do you want to pick up here in the morning?
um,
He's gonna come back.
I'll have to figure that out.
No, he's not coming right back.
But
Oh, there he is.
did it work?
Alright.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I
Okay,
can-
I put it on my phone. I'm gonna see if I use it from my phone for now.
Okay, yeah, we'll get that figured out. But yeah, does anyone want to do anything right here in the morning, like first thing?
Bulbous has been reevaluating his life decisions as he has woken up.
Damn, already questioning life decisions.
He is he's not his usual happy jumpy self. He's kind of looking at his hand from where he saw that bolt of black lightning energy shoot out of it, and he's just kind of trying to understand, piecing together these like fragments of flashing memory that go through his head. He's just very kind of silent by himself.
Bulbous, are you quite alright?
Yeah, Bulbous is great. And then goes to give you a high five, but looks at his hand and then pulls it back down.
You don't seem alright. Did anybody else notice the bolt whenever he shot it off?
Um, that would be up to the sober people. Did any of the sober people notice it?
No, I mean my thought was I was pretty entranced in my little project.
Yeah. I want to say Daphne wouldn't have because she doesn't have great perception. So maybe Callister. Callister, did you see it?
I'm gonna say no to involved with the horses.
All right. Well then, no one saw it.
Well,
It was a you only
okay.
situation, Bulbous.
Okay, so Bulbous is the okay. I was wondering because also being a warlock, I wasn't sure if I had seen that or not.
No, you were on your own trip.
Yeah, that's true. It was like, did you also see the lady? Was kind of whispering that part.
I didn't see a little lady, but I heard you talking to somebody. You speak the deep tongue too?
Well, I didn't always, but whenever well, I don't think the other ones don't trust you much, but I suppose that you seem like someone who knows something similar to this. Uh, I made a deal with someone. Well, I wished for it more accurately, but I I saw the person that I made the deal with. Then she wasn't happy that I took the mushrooms, but then she also said that it was just my own consciousness. So whether that was actually her or not, I don't know.
Well, and Bulbous would explain to you what he saw, the strange mist character with the furrowed brow.
Hmm. Yeah, Well, definitely was not that. She was, well, I can tell you right now that she was not made of smoke, but she was blue. It did like it looked like forearms. Whether or not she actually usually does, I don't know. I, I it, put me a bit on edge trying the thought of actually talking to her because I have a way to do that, but I don't not been around magic too much and that sort of thing scares me. So, but she was saying that if I need both her and actually uh, Matamiva said that if I wanted to get stronger, I needed to look inwards, which I believe has something to do with her power. But well, if you seem to be someone who has a similar situation going on, perhaps sometime we can figure that out together.
Bulbous would like that. And then Bulbous gives you like a really like one of those kid hugs where you get it where the kid's like trying to convey that emotion of I understand. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
tiniest little hug.
Yeah, and I mean, because I think you are like half my height too, so like
Hmm.
really about. So it's like it does work the same way basically. It's like, well, yes, kind of like wrap one arm back around too and be like, well, suppose we should go eat something now.
Yeah. Bulbous will go eat.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and call it here because that is time. So let me go ahead and stop the stream.